My name's Brett Barley, 28 years old, from Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. I actually grew up on the Outer Banks. I actually still live in the same house next door to the one I grew up in. So this is home. It's always been home. I've known nothing different. I've barely even lived off of the street I grew up on.
Mr. Jeffrey, hold the door.
When I started going to Hawaii and realizing pipeline was kind of like, you know, I liked surfing that wave, and I was able to get good waves out there. It became, you know, kind of my career path. Get barreled at home, get barreled in Hawaii. If I'm not editing or surfing, I'm taking my kids fishing, or if my wife's got plans with them, I'm going fishing myself. And a lot of times we're just like, this is why we live here. We can, middle of the summer when there's tens of thousands of people on the island, we can go to the beach and be by ourselves. So whenever I see a storm setting up, I typically look at Surfline's long range pretty much every time it updates. I'd like to look at storms, you know, 2 weeks out, even though they probably aren't going to happen. I mean, here on the East Coast, you rely on the storm going off the coast and then doing something to make waves the next day. But I'll watch the long range, and if I see a trend on there and the swell's still there, it's not going away, I know, okay, this is probably going to turn into something. And then as it gets closer, I start monitoring like wind models and all that. I mean, I don't get into like the pressures or monitoring like where the highs and the lows are, stuff like that. I kind of rely on the people at Surfline to do that for me. As much as I have it dialed, there's still days that I miss call because, I mean, like I said, we're dealing with the storms coming off the coast and then blowing up and doing something. And so little systems can happen, you aren't prepared for them, and that's kind of the beauty of it. That's why I love living here. I can score waves with no one around because those days happen and we're so far from, you know, anything. Especially days where the wind isn't supposed to be good. I'll walk out on my porch and I have it dialed to where, like, all right, if the wind is blowing between these houses in my face, it's west, it's offshore. So if anytime that I know there's swell and it's not supposed to be good wind and I walk out and I feel that, I immediately pull up the Surfline camera and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get there, and I just throw my stuff in the truck and head to the beach. The weather is a-changing, but you know what that means? The wind has just gone offshore. Waves have just like all of a sudden, boom, turned on. I'm gonna change, we're out there. I'm in Africa, man. And what have I been doing? Well,